Hi, Shannon here from houseimprovements.com, and in this video I'm going to try to keep it short. I just want to show you some of the progress on the electrical rough-in. I'm not doing the electrical myself. Actually, my son's an electrician. I'm doing him an electrician with his company, and he has been working on it in between other jobs and that. So just want to kind of show you kind of where we're at. So the electrical service got switched over probably a month ago now. I'll show you all the panels and everything on the outside, the meter and that, but this is the panel inside. So not much in it yet. Just got a set of electrical receptacles down here for me so that we can run power inside, and also a feed going to the old existing cabin. We changed that. Since the new feed was coming to the new cabin, we then fed the old cabin from here. And move the service or the feed from overhead to underground. So, but you can see hanging here, these are all his leads coming from all different areas of the house. Everything's just hanging here long, hasn't been tied in obviously. I'm guessing that, yeah, things are going to be marked. This one happens to be a dishwasher. Can you make that out? Yeah, dishwasher. But anyways, it's a good idea to always mark that. What I used to always do is I'd mark the end, but I'd also come up 3 feet or so and mark it again, because I had the habit of stripping these off and then going, oh crap, I forget which one's which. So if I marked it up higher where I wasn't stripping the sheeting off, I wouldn't make that mistake. But guys that do it all the time probably don't make that mistake too often. This right here is going out. This big loop is going out and feeding the other cabin. It's hooking up outside. This will get shortened up. It was just a bit of a rush that day. I just needed to get things temped up and going. So that's that. You can see some long runs here in the ceiling. So he's drilled some holes and ran a bunch of his lines all through the holes in the joists. And they branch all off like a spider web going where they gotta go. We're in the basement, so, you know, other than the panel and that, nothing in the basement's really been wired up yet. He hasn't had a chance to be down here. But let's go upstairs. Oops. So you can see up here, he's got all the vapor boxes in for pot lights. We'll be using the LED slim style lights. Vapor boxes and these trim rings. These rings, where are we? These rings here just basically screwed on. This is just so once it's drywalled, the drywaller can run his rotozip or cutout tool around that to get all the holes in the right spot. But yeah, so you can see all the different pot lights going around. In the ceiling, wires run over to them, coiled up in there. It's got most things ran and stapled, but hasn't, you know, got anything attached to the boxes yet. Yeah, it's pretty basic. You can see the stapling. You know, he's got device box here. He's got his stapling within 8 inches, 12 inches. Everything's just hanging, waiting to get tied up. This is bathroom. So we've got a couple receptacles here, right there, and then over here we're going to have obviously a switch. There'll be a fan switch, and then also the air-to-air exchanger. Okay, so even though it's bathroom, it's still got lots of stuff going on electrical wise. Master bedroom. We've got probably overkill on the lights, but as I get older, I can never have too much light. So we've got 4 pot lights, and then we're going to put a fan in the middle. Probably won't likely have any lights on yet. We got tons of lighting in here, and we've got receptacles around the perimeter. And you know, when you're talking with your electrical contractor, You know, if you have specific spots you want to have things, the receptacles for specific furniture or stuff like that, that's the time. That's the time to talk to your electrician and get things in the right spot, or hopefully in the right spot, because it's so easy to do now, right? So again, we've got lots of plugins. It's kind of what you got to do. We're going to put some, so this is a closet opening right here. And up on the inside of the closet, there's going to be a motion sensor light there. So it's a big closet, so once you open the door, sometimes just a little bit of light in there to see what you're doing is kind of handy. So we decided to go with that. We've got smoke detectors pre-wired, all that kind of fun stuff. Over here by the garden doors, we've got a ton of switches over there for all different lighting, for both in the living room here where I'm standing, and I'm standing over here. So it's living room over here, kitchen off to that side. So anyways, there's a bunch of lights lighting out on the deck. It looks like a lot of switches, but I guess I'd rather have more switches and be able to be kind of customized as far as what lights are on when. Now, one of the things we are doing out here is we are building a 3-season cabin. But for in those shoulder parts of the seasons, early spring, late fall, if we want to be out here and you know, spending a few days, sometimes you're going to need a bit of heat. Now, we're not putting in a furnace or anything, but what we've done is we've set it up with some dedicated 20 amp circuits, so we can plug in some electric heat. Now, do they need to be 20 amp? Not really, not on a cabin this size, but you know, the wire isn't that much more and the breaker isn't that much more to run a 20 amp compared to a 15. And we're basically talking, I think we did 1, 2, 3, 4 of those dedicated circuits on the main floor, and there'll be about another 4 downstairs as well. Actually, are they dedicated? That one is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're dedicated. So that just means that each one of them is on its own breaker. So we probably could have got away with even doubled up, because we're not going to need to run that big of heaters. But anyways, that's what you see there for the 20 amp plugs. Kind of put one in each room. So we're going to mount TV on this wall. So if we want to stream some TV or whatever, we can do that, watch the Rider game, that sort of thing. I don't know why that was jammed in there. So this box here comes with a trim ring. So once the drywall's done, there's a nice trim ring that goes around to cover the edges. But what this does is recesses all the cords and stuff back into the wall. So if you have your TV hanging here, you don't have a bunch of cords hanging down from behind it down the wall to your devices. So we can have everything plugged in here. We can run our HDMIs or anything like that down this flexible tubing conduit that he put in the wall through this open space, and they come out down below, closer to the floor, down in this box. Okay, so if you have a little shelf or a table here, everything's right there. Most of the wiring in that is concealed. Just looks cleaner and neater. So just a little something we added. I have no idea what that box is worth, but I would guess it's 60 bucks or something. But to me, not to have the clutter of all the wires and stuff hanging down, it's worth it. Out here, we're gonna have a lot of pot lights on the deck. Out here, I'm just looking out the kitchen window to the deck area. So there will be, I think we had, I think we have 8. I'm pretty sure 8 lights out here planned for. He didn't pop anything through yet. Again, just hasn't got to it, and I don't even have the soffit on. So, but he'll be able to run all that when he gets to it. There'll be some couple soffit lights. We're not going to have a bunch of soffit lights just because, you know, being at the lake, fish flies and any other bugs that are attracted to light just make a mess. So we didn't do much for soffit lights because we're just not going to have them on that often. Boy, I could stand here, look at this view every day. I guess I will here one of these times. You can see the windows are all sitting here waiting to get put in. You can also see it's been raining again. That's an ongoing issue here. Ooh, she's sticky back here. So here's our service. So obviously this is pretty familiar to most people. This will be your meter socket. Coming in here from underground, this is just an extra conduit in case we ever do fiber optics out here or something like that for internet service. Just kind of a future consideration. This tube here is where the main feed from the pole, which is over here behind me, comes in underground. Comes up here, and in our area they now do a loop in this box because they're finding that when ground is settling and moving year to year, when you just ran a straight up wire, they're having trouble with them actually pulling the socket, pulling loose of the sockets, or even pulling the meters off the wall, and that's no good. So now they put in this service loop here, as well as there's a loop in the ground as well, so that if anything moves here, it's not tight. They've got some give in the wires. This hub right here, going back out, is the main feed going into the panel in the basement. This line right here, this small little conduit, is just the main ground going down to a ground plate buried below in the ground. Maybe I'm not low enough for you to tell, but we're right at ground level there. And this here is where I was showing you that one wire that's back feeding going to the old cabin. So that wire that you've seen inside comes into here where there's some lugs, and it hooks to this tech cable, which is buried underground, and goes over to the cabin, which is over here behind me. So before any of that was done, I made up a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, mounted it to the wall for the location the electrician wanted, and then I covered it in a colored metal so that when my siding, my foam will tuck in here, my siding J will overlap onto this lip, and everything will just look nice and finished when it's all done. So I don't have all the screws and stuff in it. It was just kind of get it done so they could do their thing. So that's where we're at with the power situation right now. Obviously there's more work to do, but my son's just working away at it when he can. He's a busy man, just like everybody, and he's trying to give me as much time as he can to get things done. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching.